Okay, do you want a thingy thing? Do you want to watch? I think I'm ready. I think I'm talked. I think I'm good. Okay, let me fix this then. Window capture. Open. Ah, perfect. I always want to watch.
The biggest social experiment ever done in Minecraft.
Okay, I have my great
1,000 people across 4 massive
I'm not gonna pause every minute.
A realistic
I already watched the second one, so I'm not gonna watch it on stream.
No help or guidance, and just like in real life, if you die, you remain dead forever. No. Now, each player has the freedom to do whatever they want. Gather resources, join a society, become a dictator, or if it comes down to it, go to war.
I wonder if my boyfriend's in this.
With so many people on each island, anything can happen. But I can promise you one thing. This event ended up having the most entertaining story arc I've ever seen.
This is more like RP than
Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Pick a nation to root for.
Which boyfriend? Turn tap.
Video. I present to you the 1,000 player civilization experiment.
Woo!
Don't forget, if you want to participate in these videos, join my Discord server, and of course, subscribe to my channel.
Pricesaur was from a lifetime ago. I've moved on.
Okay, here we go.
A diff boyfriend for every Minecraft area code. How's the volume, by the way?
I'm in.
On day 1, all 1,000 players.
I want to be louder than the video.
Islands,
You can hear me talk over the video, right?
Plains,
and it's not
desert,
too quiet.
Snow and
So that,
jungle.
okay, good. This will make me
Most
less
players
inclined to
spent the
pause.
first day scouting their island, searching for a place to settle, but almost immediately we started to see people dying, and oddly they were all coming from the snow island. It turned out people were freezing to death after getting stuck in powdered snow,
Can't hear
which
shit.
looks exactly like regular snow.
That's
but
on
sucks
you. That's a
in
you
like
problem.
quicksand.
Can't hear shit. Deaf piece of shit.
Oh no. Even worse for the poor people on the snow island, trees were almost nowhere to be seen. The desert island also had very few trees, which players needed.
Wait,
if
no,
they
because
wanted
I
to
am.
get wood.
Fuck!
But
Will I
the
be
places
able
where
to?
players did find trees quickly became extremely valuable
No!
hotspots for groups to settle at and colonize. Look at all these people coming together.
I got baited into
They're making
ableism!
progress. Meanwhile, the people on the jungle island had essentially unlimited trees and were thus already thinking about other things. What did you say your plan was?
Watching without audio back.
This is my right-hand man.
Darbo. Hello, right-hand man Darbo.
Don't talk to him.
Guys, I wasn't paying attention. I'm sorry.
Thinking about other people on the jungle island. All these people became
I'm sorry.
players were almost nowhere to be seen. The desert island also had very few islands, which looks like it turned immediately. We start at the first day.
Wait, what?
Snows, each its own.
Wait, what? Okay.
I'm in.
On day 1, all 1,000 players
I like the
were
second video.
teleported to their island.
I like the second video, but I've heard the first one's better. This is the first one. The second one was cinema. Okay.
Each its own biome.
All right, each
We
your
had
own biome. Plains.
Desert, snow,
snow,
and jungle.
Jungle.
This is huge.
Plains,
Most players
desert,
spent
snow,
the first
jungle.
day scouting their island, searching for a place to settle, but almost immediately we started to see people dying, and oddly they were all coming from the snow island. It turned out people were freezing to death after getting stuck in powdered snow, which looks exactly like regular snow.
This will piss me the fuck off. Imagine being a fan of Ish and finally making it and actually getting selected to being in a video, and then you load in and you're like, I can't wait to be in Ish's video, and then you just fucking die in random snow.
But it sucks you in like quicksand. This guy's trying to freeze.
I'm not fucking stuck.
Oh no. Even worse for the poor people on the snow island, trees were almost nowhere to be seen. The desert island also had very few trees, which players needed if they wanted to get wood.
Thanks,
But the
Giga
places
Driller.
where players did find trees quickly became extremely valuable hotspots for groups to settle at and colonize. Look at all these people coming together. Community crafting. They're making progress. Meanwhile, the people on the jungle island had essentially unlimited trees and were thus already thinking about other things. What did you say your plan was?
I'm gonna take over the world. This is my right-hand man.
Darbo. Hello, right-hand man Darbo.
Don't talk to him. He doesn't speak.
While having a lot of trees did seem like an advantage,
really
at
fuck with
first,
big grapes.
Many jungle people found the island to be difficult to
Many
traverse,
what people?
given the immense amount of trees and the hostile mobs that would spawn on the surface due to lack of sunlight.
Oh no.
This fear of traveling also made it more difficult for jungle
I have
people to
watched
talk
it,
with
yeah.
each other.
I loved
since
it.
Players could only read chat messages from people 100 blocks away from them or less. Although frankly, at least they didn't have to see what me and the admins were looking at. Lastly,
Holy
we get to
shit.
the Plains Island,
Poggers,
and
dude.
boy was it different from the others.
dance.
Emosh, thank you for the 19
It
months.
truly was
Thank you very
just the perfect island to live on, with green grass, trees, animals, and no natural dangers. This guy's making a little animal family. Or farm. Not needing to worry about dying as much as everyone else, the people on the Plains Island were among the first to start mining for resources like
Frozen
iron
grapes
or
are
diamonds.
fucking good.
They were also the first to build up villages and, yes, to create civilizations.
I don't want
Throughout the first day, you
subtitles.
could see two main groups starting to come
feel
together.
like I can't hear
One
without
of them,
subtitles.
A democracy led by a player named Horace Crown.
Our aim is building the most beautiful and nicest city on the entire server.
And the second, also a democracy led by a player named Sidefall.
I just want to make sure nobody dies.
It was actually kind of odd how similar these two civilizations were. They were both located on the southern shore, they both had democratic elections, and their
Save the
leaders
music,
both
it's too
wanted
loud.
good for their own
Yeah.
people. I just hope nothing happens to change that.
I don't know when Pooch season is.
Never mind, I hope they die. Soon,
Wait.
in the biggest...
I missed it.
In the biggest...
Did I just fucking restart the video? Oh,
Also a democracy led by Indians. Throughout the first day, you could see two villages or
Nobody.
the southern shore. They both had democratic elections, and their leaders both wanted good for their own people. I just hope nothing happens to change that.
I'm gonna make an Among Us character.
Never mind, I hope they die. Soon it was the end of day one. Players across all 4 islands logged off and made
no!
plans for the fall.
Sargent, no! No! Please! Please! Please, no! What do you mean you're gonna watch it on your own? Why can't you just watch it with me? Please! Hello? Okay, stay.
Following day.
Okay. Now we can watch.
It was on day 2 when civilizations really began to thrive. In the southeast corner of the desert, what used to be an empty patch of grass was turning into the desert's largest nation. Hello, good sir.
Yo, what's up, Ish? The Sultan is back.
You might recognize the player storming hell from my first civilization video where he led a nation called the Sultanate. Well, now the desert dictator is back with the Sultanate 2.0.
There's another one?
And this
There's
time
3?
with a population of over 100 people.
I want to maintain order, peace in the desert.
The rules, as established by the Sultan, included wear proper attire, do not eat pork, complete your mandatory work, and most importantly, acknowledge the Sultan as the supreme and divinely chosen leader.
I'm paying attention.
Moving on, since it was still hard to get food in a dry climate.
I'm sorry, I need to pause. Why did I think I was the only person who watched these vids? 38.7 million views, by the way. How could you possibly think you had discovered a niche corner of YouTube?
People of the Sultanate focused on developing different types of food production, like fishing in the surrounding ocean. On top of this, a player named Drip Chicken
Only
made a chicken
38
market.
million.
Although when I checked it out myself, it turned out to be a very
As
different
many
type
people
of
sat down.
market.
I only watched the first one a couple weeks ago. I mean,
Thank
the
you.
latest one a couple weeks ago, so I don't blame you.
Legal sugar.
Anyway, we finally go back to the Snow Island. As I was flying around,
I loved it,
found
so
what
now
I
I'm
can
watching
only
this one.
describe as a British shrimp.
Hello,
But
Max.
Is the cold climate really the best place for a shrimp?
I mean, depends. But look at my little friend over here, you know?
Wait, who's your friend? Underneath?
Yeah, he's fully here. He's literally...
Oh.
he's chilling.
Oh, he's up here now.
No, my fish buddy. Please go back down.
Despite the killer powdered snow and the occasional polar bear, the people on the Snow Island were actually doing pretty well building settlements.
No, I didn't
together.
watch the
Nobody
Ish
was
video on
fighting
stream because I didn't
everyone
think I
had
was gonna
one
like
common
it.
enemy, the harsh climate. That being said, it turned out that all of these snow settlements might be
it's a
a
relic.
bit more than just little communities.
I can't hear
On
without
day 2,
captions.
rumor was getting out about a conspiracy that, despite them all being spread out across the entire island, a lot of these snow settlements were actually all being run by one single person whose goal was to unify the entire Snow Island under one
No, there's
mighty
always
empire.
someone with this
person's
goal.
name was Alanulo. Alonulo. And he was
Alonulo.
running this entire Empire recruitment operation from an underground bunker where he felt he was safe for the time being. Essentially, what he would do was hold meetings with people who were already leaders of their own settlements and convince them to merge their civilizations with his empire so they would be stronger together.
Ugh, there's always someone like this.
Orders to fulfill, and in exchange, they would be guaranteed high-ranking positions in the empire. If this empire
Except he gets to be
succeeds in
rank
uniting
1.
all 300 people on the Snow Island, it would easily
Imperator.
become the most powerful nation in the world. In fact, it would be bigger than the Sultanate and the two Plains democracies combined. Will this ambitious plan
Thanks,
actually
Plastic Mop.
succeed? Let's see what happens in the following days.
No smoke. People always comment on no smoke. I'm just sucking it in. I just suck it. Hi, Moe. We're watching 1,000
We've now
players
covered
build
the
a massive
politics of
civilization
every island
in
except for the
Minecraft.
jungle. So what's going on here? Well, quite frankly, I had no freaking idea. It was chaos. There were about 30 different camps and tribes spread out across the entire island, and a lot of them were in constant fights with each other. Oh. Who are the... What is going on? There's a fight here. Here's a tribe that imprisoned one of their own members for being, quote, too rich.
I say we tax him and then let him out of jail. Who else?
Them boots, take your shoes.
So overall, there was chaos, nobody trusted one another, and to add to this, nobody wanted to travel too far into the jungle because they were scared of rogue tribes and especially hostile mobs. In fact, we actually had to remove creepers on day 3 because they were killing too many people.
Whoever asked.
Now, there were actually
That
two
would
tribes that were considered the most influential in the jungle. The first, a river-based settlement called the Sea People, whose leader was killed almost immediately by a random rogue tribe.
I thought it was gonna be the
Leader,
CP.
Yeatspeak, dedicated his rule to maintaining order, but also to keeping his people happy by setting up events like
Yeatspeak.
stand-up comedy nights.
I got a
Sick.
few jokes about unemployed
I
people.
love the
No,
RP
wait,
events
None of them work.
in these.
The second influential tribe was located in the dead center of the jungle, and it was what appeared to be a faction revolving around the worship of a player named Seth. Hello, Mr. Seth.
Seth Hyphen.
Oh, this is just creepy. You're telling me this isn't a personality cult?
Nah, I wouldn't say that. It's a way of life, alright? It's a religion.
Lastly, as I was flying around, I happened to run into this guy again.
I'm gonna take over the world.
Believe it or not, he
The
had
Poor versus Rich.
actually
I didn't
become
watch it
the
on
leader of
stream.
a pretty impressive settlement. Granted, there was a lot of internal drama in his tribe.
Do you see this like really cool tower thing that we're building here?
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah. It's really cool, isn't it? And do you see our farm over there?
Dude, a lot of these
Really
people are
cool.
really good at
Nice. Now come
building.
over here.
From the Poor versus Rich one that I
Could you tell us
watched.
what this is?
In short, two of Wazik's tribe members built a librarian's tower, and he thought it was ugly and wanted to burn it down. Now, when I talked to the librarians, they said Wazik just doesn't like the library because he's illiterate. As I said, drama. Now, the jungle wasn't the only place having problems. The Plains Island was seeing both a surge in development, this whole place is awesome, but also a rise in tension.
Wait, Wood
The
Daddy
leader of
died?
one of the Plains democracies, Horus Crown, had found out that the other Plains nation, run by Sidefall, had reached out to the Snow Island looking for potential alliances. Horus Crown did not like that Sidefall was reaching out to other islands instead of reaching out to him, so he quickly established his own alliance with two other Plains settlements, both located on the east side of the island, which would essentially cut off Sidefall's access to most of Plains if a war were to break out.
We think Sidefall is definitely up to
Oh, they
something,
killed him in the
and
new
we're
one.
planning to stop him.
The people living on the Plains Island, who had otherwise taken their peaceful lives for granted,
Ugh,
were getting
I
very
hate people
worried
like
about a
Horus
potential
Crown.
massive war that would devastate their homes.
Here in KFC, we want family, not war.
Meanwhile, on the desert island, the Sultan storming hell was not happy when he discovered that a group of mountaineers had made their home on the mountains surrounding the Sultanate. So, the two groups had a meeting to discuss this dispute over land.
Why does the Sultanate have any more right to a plot of land?
Simply, might makes right.
Why does the Sultanate have anywhere? Shut up.
Stronger, so if it comes
I
down
can't
to
move
it,
myself.
maybe
Oh, you want me to
stronger
move? Where do you want me to
People in
move
the
them?
desert were starting to get worried about storming hell's tyrannical nature, so some of them moved to a quickly growing
Really
democratic
want me to
nation
move
on the
it.
other side of the island. This was
I need my
Feria,
subtitles.
the name derived from the Greek word for freedom. I asked their elected President Saps about the Sultanate.
Oh my god, it's Saps!
Establish some peaceful relations for now. I mean, we're in the middle of a desert. Why fight, you know?
Overall, each island had its own conflict between the desert's sultan dominance, the
Yeah, you can
plains'
move
alliance
subtitles.
disaster, the jungle's total
I usually
chaos,
have 'em
and
bottom
the
center.
Snow Empire's takeover. At least one of these conflicts was bound to erupt very soon.
Where's my boyfriend?
Was Plains.
Is my boyfriend even in
At the
this?
beginning of day 4, a propagandist told everyone that Sidefall was about to attack the Plains Island. Horus Crown called a code red, and everyone on Plains was freaking out, including these guys at the center of the Plains Island who built a tavern on a lake.
That's
I
so
spoke with
cute.
the bartender.
Welcome to the tavern.
I was
hope
busy
you can
that
enjoy
day.
a nice beer, since it might be our last.
So at this point, you're probably
Sorry, I
wondering,
forgot.
what was Sidefall actually doing? Well, it turns out Sidefall was just as confused as everyone else, since he had no plans to attack anyone.
There.
The propagandist had lied.
I have no clue what these guys are talking about. I don't want to attack anyone.
Dude, Sidefall's just existing.
You were framed. I can't believe it. So now, both sides were gearing up for a war over nothing but a miscommunication. And all throughout, Sidefall was desperately trying to reach out to the other Plains leaders, saying that he didn't want war. The other leaders doubted
Dude,
him,
can Horus Crown
but they
fuck
actually
off?
agreed to meet with him as long as they met on neutral ground.
I hate Horus Crown.
Whoever told you guys I want war is lying.
Tell us the truth then.
While they talked,
Shut
Horus Crown
up!
secretly had undercover spies search Sidefall's
Tell us the truth,
entire
then. What do you think
village.
he's there
He wasn't aware
for?
Sidefall had someone else place a bunch of TNT under his village. But before things went too far,
Folks, we have a peace deal.
Oh, okay.
by the thinnest of margins,
We love the
crisis
neutral
was
ground
averted.
again.
After talking,
Oh,
the
fuck
leaders
Horus Crown.
had made a peace treaty. I actually didn't get to see much of the meeting, but here's essentially what happened. Sidefall first apologized to the other Plains leaders for not being open with them, specifically about his relationship with the Snow Island. He told them he had only reached out to Snow in hopes to get on the good side of a player named A Freakin' Turkey, who was apparently Olanulo's second in command. The Plains leaders discussed their disagreements on foreign relations, Horus Crown preferring keeping alliances within Plains, and Sidefall believing in making allies on other islands. But they were able to put their differences aside. They banished the propagandist from the Plains Island, and at the end, the four major Plains nations created a great
I'm just
Plains
instigating for
alliance.
nothing.
The Plains Island went from being on the brink of war to being the most united island.
No war.
of all. And it wasn't just
Drinks
Plains.
are on
At
us.
the end of the day, all four islands were prospering. From the people on Snow
They always
collecting resources
include
and building
some
together, to the people in the desert
voice
working on
lines.
the Sultan's Build project, which was to create a massive holy city. Even the jungle was at peace at the end of day 4, since the remaining jungle people were just thankful that they were still alive. Soon though, it was the next day. But
Damn,
before
day
we let people
5
back
already.
onto the server, the admins and I decided to add a little something.
I feel like the new one, rich versus poor, so much happened within the first couple days.
Island in the center of the world, and we didn't tell the players that we did this. We wanted to see who would discover the island, how long it would take to find, and then what would happen next. So we started up the server, and the wait began.
Yes, I'm
But
wearing
meanwhile, we
pink.
have to talk about the Snow Island. Hello, Turkey.
Hello, Ish. How's it going?
On day 5, the player A Freakin' Turkey finally gave me a full explanation of the mysterious Snow Empire, which I found out was named the Aculon Empire. Still fearing for his safety, the Empire's founder, Olanulo, gave orders entirely from his secret underground bunker, while his second in command, A
Okay,
Freakin'
Saddam
Turkey,
Hussein.
carried out his orders and led the people on the ground. You guys have settlements across the entire island.
There is a lot. Just know none of it was made by slaves.
The Empire relied on strict order to maintain peace. It's now 200 citizens were each assigned a daily job like building, mining, or fighting. And whenever they were online, all citizens were required to be in 2 Discord voice channels at once, which I didn't even know was possible. Also, the Aculon Empire made it a point to document
God.
everything, including its list of members, its hierarchies, its physical landmarks. But what I found most impressive was the high-level operation going on in this seemingly regular
Holy Holy
building.
shit!
This singular building is the richest place in the entire server.
They called this the Quartermaster's House, and it was where the MacLeod Empire not only collected and stored all its resources, but also distributed items using a complex request system, where, for example, a citizen asks for iron ingots, and then the Quartermasters decide exactly how much iron that citizen deserves based on a detailed algorithm they developed. Has anyone tried breaking into this place?
Not yet.
What is actual social credit score? What?
Say, if you tried to get in without permission, you're not gonna get a very nice welcome.
I can't. I need to listen to that line again. Let's just say you're not gonna get a very warm welcome.
Based on a detailed algorithm they developed. Has anyone tried breaking into this place?
Not yet. Let's just say, if you tried to get in without permission, you're not gonna get a very nice welcome.
And I kid you not,
Let's
just a few minutes
say
later,
you
this
won't be
player,
very
Zelius,
happy.
was caught trying to sneak his way in, and he was sentenced to a public execution to be held the next day.
This is so China core.
Out here, huh?
As long as they don't
I
take
love
me,
it.
I'm a happy man. Oh, well, look
I
at-
love the social credit
Snow
score
Island
system.
continued to be hyper-vigilant about criminals, but so were other nations, like the Desert Sultanate, which made an inescapable prison. He is surrounded by lava. Or Wazik's nation in the jungle, which made a giant sand trap. Oh, this is evil.
Just you wait until we have a nice little deliberation with something.
I'm gonna be put to death, you know. Like,
Even planes didn't feel exactly safe, as this self-described capitalist nation made a giant wall to protect its people.
we want to make sure that communists cannot take this away from us.
But as I was talking to these guys, I got tipped off from someone in the desert that something big was about to happen. The Sultanate army.
What do you mean inescapable prison? My horny ass could never. What does that mean? Wait, hold on, you lock it.
To happen. The Sultanate army's on the move. The Sultan had sent his elite squad on a secret nighttime mission. Their goal? To find a group of people that had been rumored to want to assassinate the Sultan. They're at the north side of the island now.
Oh yeah, okay, this is our target,
Okay, let's go, let's go.
What's going on, drama?
According to the Sultan, the people hiding in this little settlement were indeed the attempted assassins, and now the group had a decision to make.
Oh, we're gonna kill this guy.
Do we kill this guy?
Up until now, there hadn't been any violence between desert nations.
They hadn't
Will
discussed
this
this
be the breaking
beforehand?
point?
We are showing the desert that if you make plans to kill me, justice will come for you.
The Sultan's elite squad spent the rest of the night raiding the settlement, but during their chase of another suspected assassin, they ran, literally, into a major dilemma.
We know he's running to Syria.
The guy they were trying to kill was running toward the democratic nation
Saps.
of Theria to get asylum there. The Sultanate is really about to roll up on Theria. Holy. This could cause a major conflict. But the Sultanate's army didn't care. They barged into Theria and searched every single house to find this one person who ultimately ended up getting away. Meanwhile, the people of Theria were freaked out by the raid. But when they looked to their leader Saps for guidance, he was nowhere to be seen. He had fled.
What?
Eventually, the Sultanate's army left.
Not
but
my
Theria
Saps.
was not going to
He
forget
fled?
this.
He ran away on his own? No way. Typical Saps. No way.
By attempting to blow up the quartermaster's house, Zelius betrayed our people. And for this, he must die. Glory to Aculon.
It was a busy day for
Aculon's
a freaking
insane.
turkey. The execution was successful, but the Empire didn't yet have a written constitution or
He
a
is
justice
not
system.
getting a
So
very
freaking
nice
turkey met with a player who
welcome.
claimed to be a lawyer to set up a legal system.
You get the smaller seat, unfortunately, but do know it is quite important.
I'm used to cramming into tight space.
This guy kills me.
Afterward,
I
freaking
love the
took his
turkey guy.
guard to Drew and confronted some farmers who he claimed weren't producing enough food for the Empire.
I swear I will not miss any payment I have to owe you.
Drew, the bow, please. I expect 5 stacks of bread delivered within 1 to 2 business days.
Even though he was a little tyrannical at times, a freaking turkey was actually becoming very well liked in the Aculon Empire because he got things done
So
and
funny.
he was a charismatic speaker.
fellow citizens, it is my distinct honor to pronounce Steve and Pixel as husband and wife.
His little voice.
He was only the second
so
in command
serious.
of the Snow's Aculon
Adorable.
Empire. Many people were starting to view A freaking Turkey as a better candidate for leader than Alanulo, since most people in the Empire had never even seen Alanulo, given that he's been hiding underground the entire time, afraid of being assassinated. In fact, some of his own citizens weren't even sure he existed. While Alanulo ruled from afar, only talking with high-ranking officials, A freaking Turkey was considered a man of the people, someone who talked to everyone. In fact, freaking Turkey had gained so much notoriety that leaders of other nations were starting to reach out to him for alliances rather than to Alanulo.
Fuck yeah,
As
Turkey!
a result of all of this, Alanulo was starting to get a little worried.
Oh.
Turkey knows that I created this empire and its entire political system. And as long as I am alive, I will be its only ruler.
Ah! Shut up! Oh my god, shut up! Oh my... As long as I am alive, I will be its only ruler. As long as I am alive. No freaking Turkey knows I created this empire, so as long as I will be its only ruler. Shut up! That's literally how Turntap sounded. Okay, but Turntap wasn't a pussy. Turntap was cool.
That's very funny.
Dude, this is why I could never be an RP viewer or some shit, because I would get way too invested and start like hating people personally.
Our monkey religion, we hold fast to.
Here on the Jungle Island, things haven't slowed down one bit. Amidst the chaos, this small group had made a monkey religion, and their goal was to build the biggest tree in the entire world.
Whoa!
While everyone else is fighting and killing each other, we are peacefully building.
By now, every tribe in the jungle seems to have its own
Cute.
goal. These guys, building a tree. This group, called the Blue Cross, provided food and
Oh,
shelter
Blue
to
Cross.
refugees. Meanwhile, Wazik's goal, which was still to take over the world, was seemingly driving him mad, especially after the librarians built a second tower. You did this out of spite, didn't you?
That would have been perfect for today. Because they could have taken care of that.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, yeah.
Overall, it seemed like there was a lot on Wazik's mind, as if he was planning something. Something big.
Ooh!
Meanwhile, Seth and the Sea People were still the two biggest tribes in the jungle, and both pursued very innovative
Dude, he
political
wasn't in the
strategies.
server.
For example, Seth got married, but only so he could parade around the jungle and demand wedding gifts from everyone. And you know what? It freaking worked. The Sea People, on the other hand, had taken on a massive goal, which was to finally end the chaos in the jungle. And they did this by sending out stealth groups and hunting down thieves, murderers, and anyone who they claimed did wrong. However, some of the supposed wrongdoers they killed were actually allies of Seth. In response, Seth demanded that the Sea People stop their initiative immediately, but the Sea People planned to continue. All of a sudden, the Jungle Island was on the verge of a massive war, as if there wasn't enough chaos already.
Drama. The Sea People feels racist somehow? I feel like the Jungle People feels more racist than the Sea People.
Whoa, this is crazy. This is awesome, man.
Amazing soundtrack and cinematography.
On day 7, a player named the Pokemonkey discovered the secret 5th island. The island had a mysterious dead terrain, a small pre-built village in the center, and underground, it contained netherite, which is the strongest and rarest resource in the world.
There's a group in European history called the Sea
Pokemon
People.
King
Oh, I
was
didn't know
a
that.
part of Sidefall's nation
This is
in
basically a
Plains, and
movie,
he
yeah.
quickly alerted Sidefall about the very strange and
1,000 people
unexpected
build a
discovery
civilization in
he
Minecraft.
just made. He's taking the blue lantern so people believe him. Guys, I'm not lying. There really is an island. 2 minutes later, another person found the center island. This time, someone from the jungle. Then, like a domino effect, more and more people started arriving, typically either alone or in small groups like these guys from the desert. Even though they all came from different islands and nations, nobody was fighting. In fact, they seemed to be forming friendships and simply admiring this new mysterious place. He's saying this is amazing. Quickly, word began spreading across the world that there was a 5th island, and about 30 minutes into day 7, basically everyone knew. It was crazy how fast everyone found out. Now, some nations were hesitant about visiting, believing that the island was some sort of trap, while other nations like the MacLeod Empire sent out large exploratory groups to investigate the island.
Turkey's
So
my
MacLeod is
favorite
here, but instead
leader
of
so
mining for
far.
netherite, they're taking the
Turkey
wool
and
for
Sidefall.
defense. Oh, they don't have sheep in the snow island. That makes sense. Something I found interesting was that no nation, not even the Snow Empire, had the courage to publicly claim the center island as part of their nation, as their territory, probably because it would result in conflict with other nations, which was my secret intention when adding the island, that it would cause some type of war. But it didn't cause a war, or maybe just not yet.
Not yet! Sorry. But it's coming!
Meanwhile,
Ooh.
I present to you the story of Los Pollos Hermanos.
Sorry, I won't scream.
Wow, you've really expanded your business.
Yeah, we're doing quite well.
Because starvation was such a big problem in the desert, Drip Chicken had made it his life's mission to feed the people of the desert. And ever since I spoke with him on day 2 next to his little food stand, Los Pollos Hermanos had become a staple of the Sultanate. But this business would soon run into some problems. See, on days 4 and 5, the Sultan storming hell was unsatisfied with the slow progress on his build project, the Holy City. So he demanded that the farmers of the Sultanate stop growing food and instead work on his build project. And just like that, the food supply going into Los Pollos Hermanos had completely stopped. The restaurant suddenly had no food available to sell.
Dumbass!
Having no food, Drip Chicken was instead forced to sell some questionable products, and if he was caught selling these products by either the Sultan or the Sultan's twin guards, he would probably receive a life sentence in the Sultanate prison. Meanwhile, the farmers of the Sultanate were unhappy since they wanted to farm, not be forced to build. So in a rebellious move on day 5, Drip Chicken and the farmers secretly set up a meeting with Saps, the leader of Theria.
I know you want to move to Theria, but if you do, the Sultan will send his elite squad to hunt you down.
So, what do we do?
Go to Plains or something. There's about to be chaos in the desert.
And Saps was correct. There was about to be chaos in the desert. For reasons he couldn't tell the farmers just yet, but he did tell me.
You know who Davert is?
Yeah, I think so. He's one of the twin guards, right?
He's about to leave the Sultanate and join me.
Really? The 2 people the Sultan trusts the most are his 2 twin guards, the brothers Davert and Zamta. But one of them had
Only
grown
one of them
tired
is leaving?
the authoritarian and warmongering ways of the Sultan. So Davert had reached out to the leader of Theria, and together they created the single craziest plan I have ever heard. And this was it. First, Davert leaves the Sultanate to join Theria. Next, the Sultan finds out about the betrayal and sends his elite squad to kill Davert. Then, when the elite squad is away hunting for Davert and the Sultan is therefore alone, Davert
Oh my
will sneak
God.
back into the Sultanate and kill the Sultan. Davert will then claim leadership over the Sultanate, and as the new leader, he will finally bring peace to the desert. Davert.
Wait, that's also so upsetting because what about the farmers? The farmers, he just sent the farmers on their way, even though they have this massive plan.
No way this works.
Brother, grow some chest hair. Trust me, it'll work, alright?
So, at the end of day 7, Davrit snuck out of the Sultanate and headed to Theria to begin the operation, while Drip Chicken and the farmers fled to the Plains Island. On their way out, some of them took one final look back at their home, at their restaurant, knowing that they would probably never see it again, knowing that the story of Los Pollos Hermanos had come to an end.
What? They could have stayed. They could have stayed.
On day 8,
so
there was a
sad.
major event on the Snow Island. For the first time ever, Emperor Olanulo had come out from his underground bunker. He had summoned the entire Snow Islands to the Aculon Castle so he could publicly be crowned as the leader. Before the coronation, all high-ranking officials were required to provide Olanulo a gift.
I present to you a high-quality pair of premium brand sneakers.
Thank you, Applewood.
I, Baron Saul Goodman, give you this present, Lord Olanulo. My presence is your present.
After the gifts, Olanulo asked his second-in-command, A Freakin' Turkey, to make a speech affirming Olanulo's undisputed leadership.
My friends, the Aculon Empire is the strongest nation in the world, not because of one leader, but because of all of us.
Thank you, Turkey.
At the end of the ceremony, Olanulo asked all of his citizens to follow him out of the castle, down the main path of the empire, in a symbolic move meant to showcase the unity of the Snow Island.
Ugh, I hate Olanulo. He's such an attention whore.
But this image of unity was only a mirage. There was a lot of discontent building within the Empire for many reasons. People didn't like that Olanulo's knights were constantly bossing them around, nor did the Aculon builders like it when Olanulo forced them to work on the Aculon castle instead of letting them finish their own projects. There was this general sense that Olanulo might be overreaching with his power, especially when he started spying on his own citizens to see who was criticizing his leadership. See, Olanulo believed that in order for his citizens to have a good life, they have to live in a strong nation, and the only way to maintain a strong nation was through complete unity under a powerful and unchallenged leader. This is why Olanulo was fearful about the discontent within his nation.
This makes me feel homesick.
As well as the rising popularity of his second-in-command, A Freakin' Turkey.
I feel so connected.
Knowing that they were being spied on, many of A Freakin' Turkey's supporters were becoming scared living on the Snow Island, afraid that they would be executed for not supporting Olanulo's leadership. So, with the help of A Freakin' Turkey, plus another high-ranking official,
What is happening?
Some Aculon citizens organized secret evacuations out of the Snow Island through underground tunnels, some of which led to—
Wait, Turkey's going? Wait, Turkey's helping?
The jungle.
Wait, what?
Aculon citizens plus another leadership. So, with the help of A Freakin' Turkey, plus another high-ranking official, Ender, some Aculon citizens organized secret evacuations out of the Snow
Wait, even this is so nostalgic.
Tunnels, some of which led to Seth's nation in the jungle, others going to Sidefall's nation in plains. Both Seth and Sidefall were very open to accepting refugees, especially those who opposed Olanulo, someone who they believed to be a dangerous tyrant. Also, they had just found out that Olanulo had actually sent spies all across the world, including into their own nations, so they didn't like him very much.
We're not going back until there's some form of democracy in Snow.
I don't think that's gonna happen anytime soon.
Oh my goodness.
Meanwhile in plains, Mr. Turkey, are you starting a revolution?
No, I do not want a revolution. I just want to make sure Olanulo doesn't kill these people.
When are you going back to the Snow Island?
Probably tomorrow, because I'm gonna try and host a meeting with Alanilo. I just think he's gone too far.
So while a
Yes,
freaking
Turkey,
stayed
yes.
on the Plains Island for the rest of the day, Seth and Sidefall created the first ever multi-island treaty. This treaty not only established Seth and Sidefall as allies, but it also declared their nations refugee states, ones that are willing to accept all people fleeing from dictatorial regimes like the
Whoa.
Sultanates or the Akulon Empire. As for a freaking Turkey's position in the Akulon
Hi,
Empire,
Ekans.
he was still technically the second in command, but it was only a matter of time before Alanilo finds out about the missing citizens, and then it's very likely that Turkey will be stripped of his position or be kicked out of the Snow Island entirely and become a refugee himself.
Is this the biggest drama?
Yeah, I don't know if... Wait, is that a
We'll see, don't
basketball
spoil.
court? On day 8, the center island was getting a lot of visits from curious players, and instead of fighting each other, everyone was just kind of hanging out and doing their own thing.
TB to me. Look at this.
What is this? Don't question me. Later that night, some adventurers started terraforming the dead terrain, making it green. This actually looks not bad. These guys, meanwhile, made a secret underground church, and they hosted many ceremonies and cultural events. What type of ritual is this? Now, I actually attended 2 churches on day 8, the second one in Sidefall's nation, although I was very disturbed by the person sitting next to me.
After a near-death, life began to feel more sacred. Only 2 in charge of the wonders they hold.
Are you coming? Wait, hold on. I only saw the "Are you coming?"
Only 2 in charge of the
Oh, flying away is wearing a disturbing bikini.
I cannot say what they are, however,
The eyes.
the right way to lead this world.
Whoa, what did I do?
They're taking him away. Oh no. Later that night, the Plains Island received an unexpected visit from the Akulon Empire's state-sponsored journalist. I'm with the news. Down with the news. Go away, tabloids. Go away. No false news today. They're kicking out the journalists. Oh my God. Meanwhile, I ran into these Plains farmers who literally did nothing but plant wheat everywhere.
Holy
Oh
shit.
my God.
Look at all this freaking wheat.
Now, right next to the wheat field was a cookie factory in Horus Crown's nation, which took the wheat and made a variety of baked goods. See, ever since the Great Plains Alliance was signed on day 4, the people of Plains believed their island to be, for the most part, a very safe place to live, and as a result, many players felt secure enough to run their own businesses. There was the bakery, an Outback Steakhouse, boating and kayaking,
No, I'm cutting
2
my
KFCs, and
my
there was
cuticles.
the most recent addition, Los Pollos Hermanos. You made one in the Plains biome?
Yes. Expansion.
Claiming refugee status, Drip Chicken and the Sultanate farmers received citizenship in Sidefall's nation, where they were able to rebuild their famous restaurant, and the people of Plains welcomed the
Yeah, they
refugees
still haven't broken.
with open arms. The
Amazing.
only person who
I'm
wasn't
gonna cut him
happy was
tomorrow.
the owner of KFC, who now had competition. Anyway, when
my God, they had
word
a
got out in the
KFC?
desert that Drip Chicken and the farmers had fled the Sultanate, as did Davrit, many loyalists in the Sultanate were furious with these betrayals. While the Sultanate was still the second most powerful nation in the world,
In the
first being
world?
Akulon, these betrayals of the Sultanate hurt the Sultan's public image, and he feared being seen as weak by the world and by his own people. So predictably, the
We're
Sultan
watching
sent
1,000
his elite
people
squad out
make a
into the
civilization in
desert to try
Minecraft.
to find and kill both Davrit and Drip Chicken. But instead of staying home in the Sultanate, this time the
He
Sultan
went!
traveled with his elite squad.
Oh no, the
This threw a
plan!
wrench into Davrit's assassination plan, and Davrit had no choice but to keep hiding underground until he saw an opportunity to strike. Meanwhile, the leader of Theria, Saps, was extremely worried because he knew that the fate of his nation and his people rested on this assassination
No, this is not
attempt.
gameplay.
If it's succeeds and the Sultan is killed, well, then all is well. But
Wait,
if it succeeds and the Sultan is
Oh,
killed,
if it
well,
succeeds,
then all is
okay.
well. But if it fails, it will only be a matter of time before the Sultan finds out that Saps was behind the plan, and then there is no doubt that the Sultan will seek revenge and absolutely obliterate Theria, killing not just Saps, but all his people who, by the way, were entirely innocent. Saps purposefully didn't tell any of his citizens that he was involved in an assassination plot because they definitely wouldn't approve of something
Saps
that
is
puts
so
them in
sneaky
such
with it.
danger.
Oh my God, there's
All of the tension in the
Fluxion.
desert was
Wait.
definitely wouldn't approve of something that
Oh my God. Fluxion was one of Saps's people.
puts them in such
In the
danger.
first one, or
All
in
this
this
tension in
one.
the desert was really starting to get to some people, like this group, which made a giant lava wall around their civilization. They wanted nothing to do with the politics of the desert, and they were rather
my God.
paranoid about everything.
The walls keep us safe. We can't leave the walls for long, because then we're not safe. Everyone inside the walls is safe, everyone outside is not safe. They're strangers, we shouldn't trust them. Oh, by the way, also don't push any buttons you find in here.
Okay. I actually think this group was more of a
So
cult than a
ominous.
civilization, but still, I think they had the right idea.
So ominous yet cute.
And now we go back to the
Yeah,
jungle
Flux was the bad
war.
guy.
I say war because both major nations had already basically decided that they cannot coexist
Logic.
in the jungle.
Bro, thank you for the
Seth
tuna
was
bits.
mad at the Sea People for killing many of his allies, while the Sea People were mad because Seth wouldn't let them kill those who they believed to be criminals. Neither nation was willing to compromise on this, so war
So much
seemed
drama in
inevitable.
all islands.
However, because Seth had also recently formed an alliance with Sidefall from Plains, a war between the two jungle nations would likely cause Sidefall, as well as the rest of the Plains Island, to join the battle, thus turning this into an actual world war. So, given that the stakes were so much higher now, both sides agreed to have one final meeting.
There's
to
only one
maybe
correct
work things
rating.
out. It was Wazik who quickly offered his nation as a good neutral location for the meeting, and he was quite enthusiastic about hosting. On day 8, Seth and the Sea People sent their highest ranking officials to Wazik's nation, where the meeting would take place.
Alright, Seth. You're up first.
I think the Sea People are killing people for a lot of irrational reasons. So, you know, as an example, right? They had 5 stacks of cookies taken from them. That takes like 3 minutes to get, bro. And he's like, I don't think you should murder someone over there.
We requested he give it back, and he basically said no, so he was put on KOS, and we killed him.
So that is exactly what Seth just said.
Let me add some context.
Soon, the argument began to escalate.
And the people you attacked were direct allies.
I'm sorry, but what other ways do we have to stop the chaos in the jungle?
They stole. They deserve to be killed over it.
Do you really want to go to war over this?
Well, if you keep killing our people, then we won't just stand by and watch.
All right, fine. The Sea People declare war.
All right, let's do it.
I know, it's so cute, right?
Wazik yelled,
Double no!
Oh my God! I need to rewatch that.
Just stand by and watch.
All right, fine. The Sea People declare war.
All right, let's do it.
But before a fight could begin, Wazik yelled,
Double no!
Dude, the traps in these are crazy. Holy fuck. Oh my God, Wazik!
Wazik had just killed 7 people using his sand trap before getting away. Seth and the Sea People decided to put their war on hold and declared a unified worldwide manhunt for Wazik. Everyone was confused about why Wazik did this, but then I remembered something Wazik had told me the day before.
Listen, if the war breaks out, I have a plan to stop it.
Really? How?
Oh, you'll see, my friend.
When Seth and the Sea People declared war on each other, Wazik decided to use his sand trap and make himself the villain, so that the entire jungle would make peace to unite against him, therefore actually preventing
Holy.
a world war.
Holy.
Wazik is now hiding underground.
Oh my God. A hero, kind of. Damn, I can't believe it's day 9 already.
After spending most of the previous day trying to hunt down his enemies, the Sultan storming hell decided to take a break from the hunt and attend a wedding hosted by a small neighboring desert nation. It was a huge honor
night,
in the
Alex.
desert for the Sultan to visit
I don't know
their
how many days.
civilization. So there was a lot of buzz surrounding the Sultan's visit, and everyone in the desert knew he would be there. Zamta the twin guard was also at the wedding, and he was quite thankful for the break since he secretly despised having to hunt for his own brother. When the Sultan demanded that Davert be tracked down and killed, Zamta was horrified by this order, but he kept silent, fearing that he'd be next. Zamta could only hope that Davert was far away now, hiding in a place where the Sultan would never find him. But it turned out Davert was not far away at all, because he was on a mission.
He was not far away at all.
He's actually here.
Does he die or does he kill Sultan?
Davert was coming to kill the Sultan, but he had to be sneaky because the Sultan was guarded by his elite team. The plan was to catch him and his team off guard since it would only take a few hits to kill him. I'm so nervous right now. Did the wedding
Yeah, I
end?
bet he dies too.
He's leaving. Oh, he's leaving.
What happened?
Oh, Davert! Holy crap!
Davert's dead.
He's hit him so many times.
No, Davert! No, Davert! No, Davert! Holy actual one-man army. Oh my god! Davert!
Oh, he's getting close. He's getting close.
Oh,
he turned around. Holy
Davert, no!
crap, everyone's here. This is insane.
No, I don't want Davert to die. No! 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 And then Sap starts running. Yeah. What? He fucking kills himself?
Sultan's on his way back home, I think.
Saps is such a... Holy fuck. No, he's so sad. No. Oh my god!
What?
I'm gonna cry!
Oh boy.
For his brother!
Angry about the death of his brother Davert, Zamta betrayed and
my
killed
God.
the Sultan storming hell in what he called an act of revenge. All of a sudden, within the span of a few minutes, storming hell, Saps, and Davert were
all dead. So now it's
Both
just
the Sultan
Zamta.
and Theria were without a leader, and the desert island was in a state of total confusion.
Oh my god.
Now, because the Sultanate didn't
Yeah, I'm
have
assuming
a
he wanted to
solid
kill
line of
himself on the
succession,
tower.
There was a short power struggle that ended with the Sultanate getting completely dissolved. On day 9, the second most powerful nation in the world had fallen, and
Holy
most of the
shit.
Sultanate's citizens ended up fleeing. That being said, it wasn't totally the end. Some who were still loyal to the late Sultan decided to form their own militias, whose only goal was to track down Zamta and avenge the Sultan.
We are called by our divine leader to kill the dirty traitor. Mashallah.
Theria Theria, on the other hand,
Yeah,
didn't
well,
dissolve.
Saps
Instead,
waited a little
elected
fucking
new
longer.
leader, a player named Jofiel, who was well liked and trusted in the community. Still, the people of Theria would continue to
remember this
live in
name.
a state of fear, afraid they would be invaded by one of the new desert militias. Also, they would never find out why their founder Saps jumped off the Therian tower, which he did because of guilt. After he saw Daveret die, Saps believed that the Sultan would invade and destroy Theria, and he felt too ashamed knowing that he would be responsible. It was only thanks to Zamta that the invasion didn't happen. The death of the Sultan sent shockwaves throughout not just the desert, but the whole world. Many nations went on lockdown,
Saps such a clip farmer.
While they technically weren't allies, Emperor Olanilo had always
Wow,
admired
cinema.
Sultan Storming Hell's strong authoritarian leadership. So
Yeah, I'm
after the
sure he
lockdown,
fucking does.
Olanilo sent his diplomats to the desert to offer support to the Sultanate militias. At the
I'm
same
sure
time,
he
on
does.
the Plains Island, Drip
Fucking
Chicken
Olanilo.
of Los Pollos Hermanos was watching the desert from afar, and he was worried about these rumored desert militias. Because Drip Chicken was from
Yeah,
the
great.
desert, he was able to educate his customers in Plains about the politics of the desert, and after Saps' death, he encouraged Sidefall to send diplomats to Theria quickly, and Sidefall did just that. On day 9, Theria officially joined Seth
Wow.
and all the Plains nations in the refugee state contract, and what originally started as a simple refugee agreement between Seth and Sidefall had now turned into a worldwide
Holy.
alliance called the Alliance of Democratic Nations.
Oh my god!
Simply
Oh my
the
god!
Allies.
Oh my god! Is this just literally a setup for the World Wars? I can't wait.
As the people of the Aculon Empire continued their daily routines, the highest-ranking officials of the Empire
Hoggers,
gathered to
dude.
discuss the new existential
Lenny, thank you for the new
dilemma
prime. Wessel,
they
thank you
were
for the
now
3 months as well.
facing. The Aculon
Emosh, thank you for the 19
Empire had
months.
always
No, it's
been
not
the
a fucking
most
ad.
powerful nation in the world, and it's still
watching a YouTube
technically
video.
is, but when adding together the populations of all the states in the Democratic Nations Alliance, it
Who's
is the
gonna be
allies
Hitler?
that have more people overall. This made Aculon officials extremely
Who's the most Hitlery? That one guy. That one guy who was killing killing people who was stealing cookies. Either him or Elanilo.
allies that have more people overall.
Buzen, he just died. That was Sultan.
This made Aculon officials extremely worried. They saw this as the first legitimate threat to the regime. Olanilo agreed with this view, but at the moment, his attention was on another problem entirely, the problem known as A Freakin' Turkey. A Freakin' Turkey's rise to popularity had always bothered Olanilo, but now this conflict was at an absolute breaking point because yesterday, one of Olanilo's spies caught A Freakin' Turkey helping no citizens flee the Empire. Fleeing or defecting was strictly against Aculon law.
They're North Korea. They're not China.
Olanilo's spy also
just
saw
straight
A
up
Freakin'
North
Turkey
Korea.
hanging out with not just Sidefall, but nearly all the major Plains leaders, which made Olanilo think, is A Freakin' Turkey planning something? Is he secretly working with the Allies? Is he about to orchestrate a full-scale revolution or an invasion of the Aculon Empire? These were all questions that Olanilo was wrestling with, and the more he thought about it, the more he convinced himself that A Freakin' Turkey was probably committing some sort of treason and needed to be stopped. Yesterday, A
You better
Freakin'
leave
had reached
Turkey
out
the
to
fuck
Olanilo for a
alone.
meeting, and today, Olanilo accepted this request, but with a few conditions. 1, this meeting takes place at the Aculon Castle.
No.
2, Turkey comes alone.
Oh, God.
And 3, the meeting takes place not today, but tomorrow, because Olanilo needed some extra time for his builders to finish a certain
Set up a
project
fucking trap
located
for
on the
Turkey?
top of the Aculon Castle. Nobody knew why or what the strange-looking tower was, but Olanilo insisted it be completed by the time Turkey shows up.
Oh no.
Tomorrow is certainly going to be interesting, so make sure everyone's ready.
Lastly, later in the day, Olanilo sent diplomats to establish alliances with both the desert militias and with the sea people in the jungle. Olanilo appreciated the sea people's value of order, and he promised that he will help them stop the chaos in the jungle and help them catch their #1 most wanted criminal, Wazik. The sea people accepted this alliance, but they ended up not needing Aculon's help because late into day 9, Wazik decided to turn himself in.
Okay.
He's about to be executed. A guilty conscience, perhaps.
That guy's name is German words. Beautiful.
All right, Wazik, I understand you have a prepared statement. You may now read your final words.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, it's your old friend Wazik. In the beginning, I wanted to rule the world. But I've made some bad decisions. And now, it's my time to go.
You killed innocents. Make him speak.
If there's one thing I've learned, is that time
Yes, he
can
killed
never
the
be
people with the traps.
your trusted friend.
Yeah. Oh my god, he's dead.
Long live the jungle.
After deciding that being a criminal in hiding isn't how he wanted to live, Wazik instead chose to face his inevitable death on his own terms, and by doing so, he gave the jungle one last moment of unity.
Anyone else jumping?
The conflict between the two major jungle tribes was still unresolved, especially now that they were in opposing alliances, but for this brief moment, there was peace in the jungle. Well, that was fun. Everyone's coming down the tree now. Most nations around the world took the end of day 9 to rest and reflect on how far they've come. For example, the jungle's Blue Cross tribe celebrated becoming international with at least one charity location on each island. Meanwhile, in the desert, the two Sultanate militias held a funeral for the late Sultan, where they vowed to get revenge and chanted death to Theria, after which they proceeded to finish building the Sultan's holy city in his honor. Theria, on the other hand, expanded its reach into the arts and became the first civilization to develop music. Oh. Lastly, on the Plains Island, businesses were booming and civilizations were thriving. On day 9, the Plains Island had finished the construction of the Ish, the international state highway.
That's
which
funny.
made trade and transportation between the major Plains nations much
Whoa,
faster.
that's crazy.
Overall, the building and architecture and player creativity in Plains was simply amazing.
Damn!
And it was all made possible by the political stability of the Plains Island. Many in the desert and jungle and snow looked at Plains as the shining beacon that they can aspire to be like one day.
Wow. Beautiful. Sorry.
As the end of the day approached, a freaking turkey returned to the Plains Tavern after spending the day traveling around the world, visiting civilizations in the jungle, the deserts, and of course the Plains Island. During many of his visits, he was very surprised when he found out that most people from these foreign nations not only knew about him, but admired him. This was because rumor had spread about his disobedience to Olanilo, and as a result, he had earned a worldwide reputation as the savior of refugees, the honorable rebel, the man who stood up to the emperor, and everywhere a freaking turkey went, he was welcomed with open arms. By the way, I think he would have been perfect for that.
Yeah, I heard there was a comedy show here. You should have called me over.
When it came to the Aculon Empire, the truth was, a freaking turkey had no intention of causing any type of uprising or revolution. In fact, he was strictly against the idea, knowing just how devastating a major war would be. But he did want change in the Empire. During his prolonged stay in Plains, he had seen what freedom and democracy look like. He had come to regret his more tyrannical actions in the early days, and he now envisioned a reformed Aculon Empire. His new dream was to bring democracy to Snow, bring freedom to the people of the Aculon Empire, and make the Snow refugees feel safe to come back home.
I might just be overly optimistic, but I think we can achieve world peace.
Okay. If a freaking turkey is able to convince Alanilo to convert the Empire from a tyrannical dictatorship into a free democracy, and then the Aculon Empire ends up joining the Allies, then world peace wouldn't just be a far-fetched idea for wishful thinkers. It would actually happen. With this massive goal in mind, a freaking turkey prepared for tomorrow for his big meeting with Alanilo.
I'm so nervous. I need a pee. I need a pee. I need a pee. I need a pee. I need a pee before we watch that. I need a pee. I have to.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to watch. There's only 15 minutes
remember
left.
everything we talked about. We'll be watching.
Before
Of course I
the
didn't wash
freaking
my
turkey
hands.
took off for the Snow Island, he had met with the 4 major Plains leaders one last time to tell them what he hopes to achieve in his upcoming talk with Alanilo. The Plains leaders were pessimistic. See, when they heard about Alanilo's strict conditions for the meeting to take place, they suspected that this was going to be the meeting where Alanilo removes Turkey from his second-in-command position, or worse, puts Turkey in Aculon's prison. Whatever happens today, the Plains leaders promised Turkey that he has the full support of the allied nations. Even if they can't attend the meeting, they will be watching and will do whatever they can to help him. There we go. Turkey is now back on the Snow Island. I think he's going to the meeting right away.
Hi, Hizix.
Oh, that's so cute. Look at him. Plus 1 RP.
This is weird.
That was
Turkey's been in the
adorable.
castle for like a few
I love
minutes
that
now,
one.
and Alanilo's nowhere to be seen. Oh, he's right here. He's on his way.
Oh my god, the
There we
slow-mo.
go. Everyone's here now. I think everyone's here now.
Oh my god, he has a throne and
Knights
everything.
come to the castle. Wow, I think these are all the high-ranking officials of Aculon. They're all here.
Hear ye, hear ye. All barons, Duke Turkey, and fellow knights have now come together to speak with Emperor Alanilo. Alanilo, would you please start the conversation?
Wait. Turkey, hold up. So before we begin, sorry to interrupt. I have a special thing I want to do real quick.
Wait.
Here.
Drew, not yet. I want to do something first. Turkey, can you sit on the throne for a second?
Why?
Just do it.
Okay. What are we doing?
What is happening?
Can I trust you, Turkey?
Yeah?
You like
What?
this, right? Sitting on the throne?
You put me on here. I don't know what you're talking about.
In front of all these people?
What are you getting on about?
I know that you've colluded with the Plains Alliance. But I know that you want to take over this nation. Take this throne for yourself.
Whoa. What?
There's nothing you can do at this point to convince me that you're not plotting a revolution against me. I caught you red-handed.
No! Alanulo! Yes, I've talked with Plains. I've also talked with Desert and Jungle. I am a diplomat. And I'll tell you this, all those people that I talked with will become our allies the moment we turn this place into an actual democracy.
Why are you secretly leading people off my island?
Because they thought you were going to kill them. And to be honest, so did I. So that's the point of this meeting. You want to get rid of me?
Oh, he's so dramatic.
How about I just leave, and you won't have to deal with me again?
Oh my god,
I'm just gonna go.
Ugh.
Okay.
Fine. I'm gonna just go.
Yeah, and then you'll come back with an army. I'm sorry, Turkey.
Well, yeah, no shit. What the fuck? That was so anticlimactic. Yeah, like, of course he was gonna fucking... Yeah, that was so underwhelming. It was so obvious.
Oh. Wait, they're
what?
killing Turkey's supporters. They're hunting down his supporters as well. This is crazy. Like that, there was a purge on the Snow Island, and many of Turkey's supporters were killed. The few who were able to escape
Oh my god, this is so North
immediately
Korea.
swam to the other islands to tell everyone exactly what happened.
And
Oh shit,
all
it's
of
good.
the
Now
knights
it's okay.
started executing Ender,
Ooh.
Turkey, they assassinated some of the most loved members of Escalating.
When Afrique and Turkey's death message appeared in chat, people around the world were outraged, and shortly after, the leaders of the allied nations started activating their militaries, putting them on standby.
It's starting! It's starting!
Los Pollos Hermanos. I'm giving the army chicken for 50% to make sure they're ready for battle.
Meanwhile, Alanulo got word that the allies were preparing their armies, so he declared a full lockdown, reached out to his own allies, and called them to the Aculon castle to be ready in case the allies declare war. And
Oh
sure
my
enough, when
God.
the Blaze leaders talked with Theria and
This
Seth,
is so
the
World War
votes
II
was
coded.
unanimous. On day 10, the Alliance of Democratic Nations officially declared war on the Aculon Empire.
I just want to say I wish you luck and great success. Hopefully we all see some of you tomorrow to sign the constitution of the new Aculon Republic. The new Aculon Republic that we all dream about.
Yeah, when does Alanulo kill himself?
Thank you all.
This isn't about us. This isn't about our lives. It's about getting justice for Turkey and ridding the world of tyranny.
All the allied nations met up at the
Zomta,
center
there was
island
Zomta.
so they could attack the Snow Island
I have watched the
together.
other one.
Today, we fight for revenge. We fight for freedom.
Yeah, I don't think he would kill himself. Yeah, Zomta's also attacking. And ridding the world of tyranny!
But little did the allies know, Alanulo had set a trap. The Aculon builders had taken inspiration from history and created what they called the Iron Torch, the most advanced defensive tower in the world, complete with dangerous height, sturdy walls, arrow slits, and lava cover. This is crazy.
What the fuck? The Iron Tower. Oh my god.
Time can never be.
Yeah, some POVs are laggy as fuck because there's so many people.
Or your sworn ally. No, it's the harshest mistress of all.
Fuck, now I just want to watch the second one again.
Just a chain of moments spent, 1,000 hellos and goodbyes. Maybe a love like ours can leave out its call.
Can we for future stream? Might be able to watch it today. Depending on how much time I have. I could probably just skip through a little bit. Turn Tap is my boyfriend. No! Does he know that? No. That is so crazy. By the what the that is crazy tech. Make a tree tower to climb. Zamta died. Oh my god, they're in. The lava's falling down. Oh my god, he has a water. It failed! Holy shit.
What?
Yeah, he couldn't live like. Oh, I gotta watch the second one now. The second one was, yeah, Flux was pretty fucking insane with the tech.
After died, the Aculon Empire officially surrendered.
Wait, Aculon's officials say they surrendered? Still kill them.
But even though Aculon surrendered, the allies didn't stop fighting.
Oh.
No mercy, no mercy. They're all saying no mercy.
Oh.
Like that, there was a purge on the Snow Island.
Oh.
But this time, it was the supporters of Turkey doing the killing. This is just an absolute slaughter fest. After a while, the Allies had completely
Calling someone to hit him?
taken over
Yes.
the Iron Torch, and all
Okay,
of the
we can
Aculon
speed run the
forces.
second one maybe.
And with that, the Alliance of Democratic
I was about to say the
Nations
same thing.
had
I feel like it's so
defeated
confusing
the
to know who to
Aculon
kill.
Empire. It was only when the war ended and the clouds parted that the Allies were finally able to
Several times I
reflect
felt myself in serious
on what
danger of
they had
cracking a
done.
smile. Just wait until you watch the second one.
They had succeeded, but they had also shown no mercy.
Yeah,
When their
the new one
enemies
is.
They continued
This one
to
is
be ruthless
good
and
still.
thirsty for blood. It was as if they had become their enemy. As the Allies each safely returned to their
Beautiful.
homes, now with a clear mind, many of them
How long is the next
felt
one?
regret.
Let me see. The next one might be over
Neither
2
side
hours.
was completely innocent.
Like a whole
and
ass
the
movie.
war was complicated. But at least it
Oh,
was
it's 2.5
over,
hours.
and the Allies had won.
What if we do? Would we be able to start at 8:45?
Over the next few days,
instead?
the people of Plains, Theria, Seth, and a few smaller nations created a world alliance with a massive parliament building on the center island where world leaders met to discuss the affairs of their nations.
I want to
and most
watch
importantly,
it.
to keep the peace. And the first order of business was pardoning the few living players who fought
Let me
for
ask.
Aculon so they didn't have to live in hiding. Meanwhile, the snow refugees were able to move back to the snow island and create the new Aculon Republic.
I could
putting
1.25
democracy
exit.
in snow.
Let me see
They
what it
also
sounds like.
tore down the remains of the Iron Torch and put in its place a graveyard honoring all who died in the Battle of Aculon. And
I can't do the math. If I watch
watch
2.5 hours on 1.25x
or
speed,
Turkey, who inspired them all.
how long would that take? Yeah, 1.5 is kind of rough. Oh, right.
And
Divide.
so,
Thank
the
you.
jungle went back to hosting comedy shows, the desert went back to pursuing the arts, and Drift Chicken went back to running Los Pollos Hermanos.
2 hours!
After all that happened throughout the days, things were finally settling down.
Okay. 2 hours. I can do
For
that.
many players, the newfound peace allowed for new stories to begin. But for us, it's a good place to end.